you could say requirement engineering. So we just started last class. What is requirement engineering? What are functional requirement and not functional requirement? All those things we have gone through. So we'll continue one more sessions on this. Before that, today's session will let us take on software processes. What are the different types of models we have? So we'll go with the waterfall model and maybe a spiral model. Two models we'll try to cover up so that at least you find it easy. So first, what is software processes? So last class we have seen a requirement engineering process. So today's it is a concepts on what are software process activities. So let me go fast. Software processes. The software process basically consists of few of the models. So because you know what is process activities, when I say software process activities, so always first is the requirement gathering, then you analyze the data, you develop the data, you test the data, that is called validation. So because one question was requirement engineering process activities. So you have answered for that. So structured process is a software process. It consists of set of activities required to develop a software system. Same as if like a program, when you want to write a program, what all the activities required to develop a simple program? So that is, you need a logic to develop. That is, what are the inputs, what are the outputs? See here, many different software process, but all includes specification. Specification is nothing but the theoretical data. So wherein you go through what is to be developed. So what are the inputs for it? What is the inputs for it? What could be the output? Design and implementation, purely a concept of coding. So how do you implement this and which program do you use to develop it? And then is a validation. Validation process is a concept based on testing process. You have set of inputs and you have set of outputs based on which you will validate the data. Then is the evolution. So as evolution as discussed previously, so with the changing trends, so the software has to be modified. So it is a migration, I would say. So it is an abstract representation of a process. So this unit consists of what are software process models, what are process activities, how do you adjust with coping with the change. So before go to the waterfall model, we just understand what could be the process description. So process description could include the description of the product, roles and responsibility of the people involved in that particular process, precondition and post conditions. So one more important concept you need to understand, what is the difference between plan driven and agile process. So before I go to the waterfall model, in the plan driven process, all these concepts, that is requirement gathering, development, validation, are planned in advance and progress is measured against this individual plan. Whereas in the agile process, planning is incremental. The major advantage of the agile process is that plan could be changed in between. That is what it is. It is easier to change the process, to change the customer requirement, because you cannot stick on the same customer requirement. The customer requirement changes suddenly based on the real environment or the scenario. But even agile process, when do we go for agile process? When do we go for plan driven process? It depends upon the kind of requirement. If the requirement is stagnant for 50 years or 100 years, maybe we'll go for a plan driven processes. When it comes to the agile process, whenever the customer requirement changes suddenly, incrementally, so in that case, we'll go for a incremental process or the agile process. So what that is what the conclusion. Most practical process includes both the elements of the plan driven and agile process. So you cannot say this is right or this is wrong. It depends upon the kind of situation. So come to the software process model. So let me go to the first model. The model is a waterfall model. So to understand waterfall model, you should know what is plan driven model and agile process. So as I said, in plan driven process, everything is planned. No modification will be done in between. Whereas in the case of agile process, is an incremental or so in individual steps, you have a provision to change the process. So let me come to the directly to the waterfall model. Waterfall model is a plan driven model. So we have distinct phases of specification and development. So they are interdependent. Specification, development, it is first step number 1, step number 2, and step number 3. Let me come to the diagrammatical process of this waterfall model. So before you understand this diagram, try to understand. Waterfall model is a plan driven model. It includes incremental development, because that is after specification, you need to go to the development. After development only, you can go for a validation. Whereas in the case of few other process, you have a provision to change a specification. You have a provision to change the development in between, and you have a provision to change the test cases. So here, after only specification, you go for development. After only development, you can go for validation. So here is the diagrammatical representation for a waterfall model. So you have first requirement gathering or requirement definition. Once you have a requirement, for example, requirement definition, if I tell you write a program to develop something, so I have given you the specification. Based on this specification, you have to write a program that is called system and software design. So you write a program on this. So once you develop a program, it is called system and software design. So from here, implementation. Implementation is nothing but it is a concept of validation. And here you could see what is unit testing. So I'll explain this, the concept of unit testing and integration testing, because this part is a totally a model of validation. These two, implementation unit testing and integration and system testing, are part of the validation part. Clear? So what is unit testing? Unit testing is nothing but you have set of test cases. Imagine when you write a program for a quadratic equation, So you have basically the 4 test cases to determine a root, right? In the case of root is real and distinct, or maybe roots are imaginary. Is it or not? One more case. Along with that, invalid case. Agile process. So there is a question from the chat session. See, first try to understand what is plan driven. Everything is planned. We have all the flow chart, the architecture that is being defined, that cannot be changed. In advance, we have this. Simple example, those who have not understood agile process, planning is incremental. You don't plan validation until and unless you finish the development. Until and unless you don't finish the requirement gathering, you will not move to the development process. Whereas here, all the processes, that is what? It is a plural word, or processes where all of the process activities are planned in advance. Whereas here, in agile process, one process activities is defined. After that, you go for a next process activities. And in fact, if there is any modification in the code with respect to the requirement gathering or the first step, we have a provision to change. So I was talking about the unit testing and integration testing. Unit testing, you do one test by test case, whereas you merge all the test cases. When it is working for all the test cases, we integrate, and a system as a whole is being tested. Clear? So implementation and unit testing is a part of validation. Once you complete the validation, you come for a maintenance. And it is not that you don't have a feedback from this maintenance to the integration. You have feedback from this integration to unit testing. See, waterfall model phases consist of identified phases, analysis and definition, development, that is design, unit and system testing are the part of validation. Finally, the operation and maintenance. If you talk about the drawbacks, there are few advantages. The majorly, if when I say what to go to the drawback of the waterfall model, if anything has to be changed, we cannot accommodate certain change after the process is developed. And one more is that once you complete the requirement engineering, that is requirement analysis, then only you can go to the next phase. So one more thing, what is incremental development? So incremental development comes in agile process. So I'll explain in detail with the diagram. because there is in the chat session I could see agile process. Still, you may have doubts on this. So as I said, agile process is an incremental development. So here the idea is to develop an initial implementation. So you could see in the diagram now, specification, development, and validation activities are interleaved rather than separate. So with rapid feedback across the activities. See, there is a rapid feedback across the activities. So that is why the word we say incremental. Incremental software development. In fact, it is a fundamental part of the agile approaches. In fact, it is better than the waterfall approach for most of the business or e-commerce activities or the personal systems. Here, each increment or a version of the system or the functionality is to be understood by the customer correctly. So in the sense, the customer can evaluate the system at relatively early stage. That is in the development process to see whether it delivers what is being required or not. So in fact, in general terms, if I want to say whether my program satisfies the requirement or not, if no, I can have a provision to modify the code. Once again, in the diagram, you can see what is the meaning of interleaved. So you could see here, they are not separate process. So within the concurrent activities, they are written specification, development, and validation. So all these activities are interleaved. This is interleaved. The meaning of interleaved, dependency. So from development, there is again feedback. Again, from specification to development, there is a direction. It is not a one way, right? Once you complete the specification, you go to development. So in the waterfall model, what happens? You could see there is no direct feedback from design to requirement definition. There is no direct feedback from implementation to testing. They are separate. This process separate, this process separate. Whereas in the case of agile process, that is incremental development, you could see all these are interleaved. They are not separate. They are part of the system. Hence, we have seen here as the concurrent activities. So let me discuss about the benefits. What is the benefit? To understand this diagram, all of you, you could see specification, development, and validation are part of the concurrent activities. So again, there is an interleavance between the initial version. In between, we have an intermediate version. And finally, we'll have a final version when the system is validated properly with all the unit or the system integration testing. So if I say, what could be the benefits? The cost of accommodating the changing customer requirement could be reduced by using the agile process, because the customer has the requirement as of now something different. After 6 months, directly the customer requirement changes. By the time you develop that particular product based on the requirement you got it before 6 months, that will change differently after 6 months. In the case of waterfall model, you don't have a provision to change because you have already developed the product based on the old requirement. Whereas in the case of agile process, you are in the process of developing a software based on the requirement that is being collected before 6 months. So after 6 months, suddenly when the customer says, I need to change the requirement, there is a provision to change in the development part. So that is the ultimate concept. So you can give the attendance meanwhile with the concept. So let me brief up through the what are the benefits. So the major important benefits of this waterfall model related to the cost you can reduce. It is very easy to get the customer feedback based on the development work. So with management point of view, the incremental approaches has two problems. They say that the process is not visible. That is, manager need regular measures to measure the progress of the process. If the system are developed quickly, it is not cost effective. So one more concept we have is what is the reuse oriented software engineering. What is reuse oriented software engineering? In fact wise, if I want to sell you, we never use software reusability. It happens formally or informally when the people are working on the project, when they know the design of code, design or the code that is similar to what is being required. There are several reuse oriented approaches that rely on large base on reusable software component. Sometimes these components are commercial that may provide specific functionality such as word processing or a spreadsheet. A general process model for a use based development is shown in the diagram. You could see the diagram. Though the initial requirement specification and the validation stages are comparable with other software process, the intermediate stages in the reuse oriented process are different. The stages are, you could see what is component analysis, requirement modification, system design with reuse, development and integration software. So in general, what happens in the case of component analysis, you know what is requirement specification. So let me go fast. Given the requirement specification, a search is made for the component. Try to understand to implement that particular specification. Usually there is no exact match. and the component may be used only to provide some of the functionality required. In the case of requirement modification, the requirement are analyzed using the information about those components that have been discovered. Then they are modified to reflect the available components. Next, we have system design with reuse. In this phase, the system is designed or to the same existing framework is reused. Here, the developer or the designer take into the consideration the components which are reused and organize these components to cope up with this environment. Some new software may have to be designed if reusable components are not available. So finally, coming to the development and integration, the softwares which cannot be hired or the procured from outside, so they are totally integrated to create the new system. So system integration totally it is a part of the development process and it is not a separate activity. In fact, if you show the example, there are three types of software components that may be used in reuse oriented process. So web services, so that are developed according to the service standards. Collection of objects that are developed as a package in the case of .NET and J2E. Best example is standalone software systems that are configured for use in a particular environment. So these are all the example for reuse oriented software engineering. So waterfall model I have covered it. Incremental model, part of agile process I have covered. So left with a spiral model. So maybe tomorrow we'll go with the spiral model with the process activities. Let me wind up on process activities first. So you can give the attendance meanwhile. So I forward you the notes. If you want the PPT, maybe I'll forward it. So I like to give few of the questions on these modules. So it is like a question bank. So I forwarded you the link where we have several question papers. I want you to this go through those question papers and the important questions. So I'll share that in the chat session. I forwarded one of the link in the group. So all of you just I'll share the screen. So here are few of the question papers that I've forwarded. So this link consists of few of the recent question papers and few old question papers. So if I suggest you to go through these question papers, maybe 10 question papers, so maybe it is too useful for you people. See, here is a question. In the part module 1, with a neat diagram, explain the waterfall model of software development process. List the drawback of waterfall model. It is for 8 marks that is being asked. So this could be an important question for you. So with this point of view, I'm just trying to cover up the class in the online because it is a highly difficult task to cover up most of the concept. Briefly discuss the important activities of requirement engineering process with neat diagram. So with this concept, we have not come. What is requirement validation? So I suggest you to go through these question papers and you could design your own question bank on that. So in part B, once again, with neat diagram, explain the different stages of requirement engineering process. What are the benefits? Explain the software requirement document. Even we will cover this. In the part A, explain the incremental development process in detail. Also discuss the benefits of this model compared to the waterfall model. Let me stop. So tomorrow we'll go with the spiral model and also we'll go with the process activities and few left out concept of requirement engineering so that we'll cover up this module completely. So for a first IA, maybe we'll have module 1 and part of the module 2. Module 2 is totally easy. Hardly we need 4 sessions to complete. So it is not been in Somaraville book. It is into the book Object-Oriented Modeling Design from Romberg. Only for module 2 you have to refer. So maybe I'll provide you the notes for this and very easy concept to go through. Thank you.